Hello everyone. Today I talked about information regarding Gigo Insurance and Canada. If you are thinking of driving your car to Canada, rest assured that your Gigo Insurance will still cover you. Will we do not offer insurance to resident of Canada? Gigo's coverage is the United States does extend north of the border. Please read the following important information if you plan to drive your car into Canada. What do I need to drive my car across the border into Canada? If you reside in the United States and you are planning to drive your car into Canada, you need to have all of the following items on hand when you arrive at the border. Proof of US citizenship. As of June 1 2009, all travelers including US citizens 16 years of age or over are required to have a passport or other traveler document approved by the Department of Homeland Security. A US citizen under the age of 16 can present their original birth certificate, a copy of their birth certificate, or other proof of US citizenship as such a neutralization certificate or citizenship card. For more information regarding the travel documents that are needed for entry into Canada and re-entry into the US, visit the US State Department travel page for Canada. Proof of auto insurance. In order to provide proof of auto insurance at the border, your standard Gico insurance ID card will work. Canadian ID card are not necessary if you are visiting Canada as a tourist. Visiting Canada as a tourist, if you need new or replacement ID card, simply log in online and visit the policy document section where you can choose whether you did like to email, print or fax copy. If you haven't registered your policy online yet, you can sign up now. Vehicle registration. Driver must also have their vehicle registration on hand at the border. Border officials are also always on the lookout for stolen vehicles or people trying to avoid duties on vehicle purchase outside the country. So it is important to make sure you have your vehicle registration with you. What can I expect when I reach the Canadian border? Upon arriving at the Canadian border surviving booth, the driver will be required to roll down the front and back windows of the car so that the border officer can speak with everyone in the vehicle. The border services officer will ask the driver a series of questions. They may ask for the address of the place you will be staying during your trip, how long stay during the stay to the how long you plan to stay in Canada, why you are traveling to Canada, or similar question about your trip. These questions must be answered honestly and directly. What can I expect when driving in Canada? Driving in Canada is similar to driving in part of the United States. However, distances and speeds are posted in kilometers per hour instead of mile per hour. Some sign, particularly in Quebec, may be in French. What if I rent a car in the US and want to drive into Canada? If you plan to drive a car rented in the United States into Canada and back again, check with the rental car company as to whether or not they will allow you to drive the rental car across the border. If the rental car company allow you to drive in Canada, all the information provided above still applies. Your rental car company can provide you with additional details. Driving in Canada is similar to driving in part of the United States. However, distances and speed are posted in kilometer per hour instead of miles per hour. Some signs, particularly in Quebec, may be in French. Driving in Canada is similar to driving in part of the United States. However, distances and speeds are posted in kilometer per hour instead of miles per hour. Some signs, particularly in Quebec, may be in French. If you plan to drive a car rented in the United States to Canada and back, the border services officer will ask the driver a series of questions. They may ask for the address of the place you will be staying during your trip, how long you plan to stay in Canada, why you are traveling to Canada, or similar question about your trip. These questions must be answered honestly and directly. Driver must also have the vehicle registration and on hand at the border. Border officials are always on the lookout for stolen vehicles or people trying to avoid duties on vehicle purchase outside the country. So it is important to make sure you have your vehicle registration with you. And as of June 1 2009, are all traveler include US citizens 16 years of age are over. You are required to have a passport or other travel document approved by the Department of Homeland Security. US citizens under the age of 16 can present their original birth certificates, a company of their birth certificate, or other proof of US citizen, such as a naturalization certificate or citizenship card. For more information regarding the travel document that are needed for entry into Canada and re-entry into the US, with the US State Department traveler page for Canada. Thank you.